Rick Probstein has finally left eBay and launched his own selling platform, his new auction house Snype. That's what I want to talk about today to get some thoughts on whether or not we think this is going to be successful, show you what the platform looks like, and also talk through some challenges I faced when it came to trying to register an account. And also something pretty funny that somebody found on Twitter regarding AI images that are being used as part of their website. Pretty lazy in my opinion, but we'll talk through that down in the comments below as always. Now, if you're not sure who Probstein123 is on eBay, they were fundamentally the largest seller of sports cards and collectibles on that platform. And like in a recent interview here from Collect by Darren Ravel, Rick talks to the fact that across 21 years as a power seller on eBay, he sold over 6 million sports collectibles, totaling upwards of $925 million in sales. So no small amount of chump change here, but a pretty big deal, and pretty big considering what this now means for a loss of revenue for eBay, because what Rick talked about back in September was that he was launching his own platform called Snype, and he would stop selling on eBay as of October 23rd. Today being November 3rd here in Australia, you can see here that Rick's account on eBay essentially says they're sold out and there's nothing left for sale, which is pretty wild to think about in terms of eBay sort of allowing this to happen, somebody that big bringing them so much revenue. But that was Rick's line of thinking, wanting to try and get more cash in his hand, and all power to him with regards to that. But fundamentally wanting to set up this platform because he thinks he can offer sellers better commission rates, and then also better rates when it comes to things like combined shipping and better deals when you're consigning multiple items, etc., etc. Now, straight off the bat, my mind goes to the likes of Golden and Fanatics Collect and Heritage Auctions and all these other ones that are specifically looking to sell cards and things like that and have a big, volume of cards, in particular Golden and Fanatics Collect. It's really interesting to think whether people are actually going to use Probstein as opposed to those two, because obviously eBay is one of those platforms that's really easy for people to consign to and then bid. So the fact that you've now got him leaving this platform, are all those people that previously submitted to Probstein going to do the same thing now with his platform, or are they just going to go to Golden and Fanatics Collect because people already, use those things for those specific purposes? Is he sort of shooting himself in the foot by creating a new platform that nobody's used before, that's now expecting people to sort of download apps and then, create accounts in order to bid? It's a whole other auction house to watch. Is he actually going to get the same amount of revenue and turnover that he was getting, via eBay? I think that's a lot to be asked. I think that's what we need to sort of see over the coming weeks. But I'm really keen to get your thoughts on that down in the comments below, because like I said, everybody has eBay, everybody uses eBay. People follow Rick, and they have for 21 years, as it does say in this article. So, it's sort of ingrained in the process. And those people that consigned to him knew that people were going to be bidding via eBay, which means they can watch it closely. They're going to see it. It's not intrusive for them. But now sellers that are putting things on Snype, they need to think, well, how many people are actually going to be watching Snype? How many people are going to create accounts and sort of watch this stuff closely? If I'm a seller looking to get top dollar, do I want to go to Snype, even though their commission rates are a little bit better, especially at launch? Or should I go with a Golden or Fanatics Collect where there's a lot more eyeballs? That's the part that sort of needs to be worked through over here. And obviously, Rick talks to the fact that, under eBay, they were charging sellers 13.25% as a fee, and they're now looking at, 2% or, 3% in the case of lower value items to try and circumvent that process. So people are going to be making more money. But like I said, there's less eyeballs. Is that a good thing for him? And does he have enough, customer service over the years to get people using him over his competitors? I'll let you guys make up your mind on that. But one of those things that we need to be thinking about. Now, this is the platform, as it does say over here. It is in beta. There are auctions and live selling events, and you can consign to him, etc., etc. Pretty straightforward. But if we click through to auctions, you'll sort of see what it looks like. There is, who's this? A Bowman Chrome of Paul Skeens. It already has some bids. You can see here, this is what it looks like. Exclusive means, I guess, it's only being listed on this platform, which I guess is the case for any auction listed on any auction house. But what you sort of see over here is being sold by Probstein directly. I'm assuming it's being sold by other people consigning. It has the name there. And like it does show over here, you've got the bid history, which I do like. It shows who is in fact bidding on them. And then you can sort of bid over here, watch, share, etc. Now, what I think is a bit funny is the fact that they say bid with a Y. I guess it's their play on words with the whole Snype name. I think it looks a bit weird, but I'll let you guys make up your mind. But this aspect over here where you've got the bid history, I think I really like. I think that's something that's obviously taken from eBay, but if you look at these issues in the last few days regarding, Patrick Ryan and the shill bidding accusation, The fact that Fanatics Collect and Golden don't really make this super clear. In fact, I don't think you can see who actually wins each item. I think this is awesome because you can eventually trace this to respective users, especially when they buy a card and then go ahead and show it on social media. You can easily see, and put a face to a name, I guess, and just gives more substance to potential shield bidding accusations and hanky-panky that goes on. Obviously, this is not stopping people from shield bidding, but I really like this, and I want you guys to sort of share your thoughts on that as well. Now, in terms of what the imaging looks like, it's sort of the same as what used to get listed on his auction house, if I remember, on eBay, on his eBay account. You'll get the video, you'll get images, and the like, pretty BAU when it comes to auction sites. I'll click through something else over here for you to see. So again, total days remaining, bids, number of bids so far. And then over here, click through the images, and then again, the video will play. So yeah, like I said, I really like the fact that you can see the bid history. In terms of me being able to use it, I went to bid on a few things, but I had an issue. So they've got an app, like all auction houses do these days, but unfortunately the app's not yet available here in Australia. So I signed up, I created an account, I went to verify my email address on my phone, but it keeps taking me to try and download the app. So I need to verify on my desktop, which I'll do after recording this, to then verify my account, because what it's doing, like I said, I click verify and then opens up my browser and says you need to download the app. I go to download the app. They say the app's not available in Australia. So technically people outside the US can't create an account right now unless they fix that issue. So anyway, pretty interesting. In terms of what's pretty funny about this launch in particular is that Orban35 replied to a tweet here from Darren Ravel from 7 hours ago, and he noticed, what Orban35 noticed, is that on the auction homepage, when it comes to these live events, which I guess are going to work similar to some of these other auction houses and some of these breaking environments, all these images here are AI generated, which is pretty embarrassing if I'm being perfectly honest with you. And Orban35 shows some of them over here. You can see over here, these are clearly, AI generated. And I don't know why you would be that lazy when it comes to the launch of a website like this. I think it just looks like crap, and some people won't care, but I see this and just think of how amateur it looks, to be perfectly honest with you. But I'll let you guys make up your own mind. You can see here some of these Mickey Mantles where he's looking a bit cross-eyed. Pretty funny. You got Topps Birchings, their new product, new flagship product from Topps apparently, and a mecha box, not a mega box, a mecha box, and also draft picks. But yeah, pretty funny, pretty lazy. I would have thought they would have done a little bit better, but it is what it is. So all in all, I think it is very interesting. I'm curious to see how competitive this is actually going to be. I don't really see a whole lot of people using this over Golden or Fanatics Collect, at least not in the immediate term. I think people are going to sort of sit back and wait and see what the sales trends actually look like. But, full credit to Rick, I guess, for trying to do something different. He sort of copped a lot of heat over the years for the shield bidding that goes on via eBay. I guess this is his method of trying to fix it. Whether it does or not, who the heck knows. But now that the platform's under his control, I think he said he owns 90% of it. Any shield bidding that goes on, he's going to be held pretty accountable because he can watch that, he can stop it from happening, and he shows that bid history, which I think is fantastic, but I want you guys' opinion. So let's see how it goes. Like I said, I don't know, man. I think it's a bit weird. You got Fanatics Collect and Golden out there. I just don't know why people are going to use this right here, right now. So anyway, I'm rambling. You guys make up your own mind. Share your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
Ship My Cards is your US shipping address and secure storage facility. Every package is processed, photographed, and uploaded directly to your personal inventory. We securely store your collectibles until you're ready to ship them home or send them off to a buyer. With your membership, you save on postage and taxes, plus unlock access to exclusive collector services. Ship My Cards, your complete collector solution.